You check your bank account on a Tuesday morning, and your stomach drops. You got paid 3 days ago. But somehow, there is barely anything left. Rent, car payment, that unexpected medical bill. Groceries that cost way more than they used to. You are making decent money, probably more than your parents did at your age, but it feels like you are running on a hamster wheel that keeps spinning faster. You are not broke, but you are definitely not getting ahead. And here is the thing that keeps you up at night. You have this nagging feeling that the rules of money have changed. But nobody sent you the memo. I am James, and I've spent over 15 years obsessing over personal finance, studying why some people build wealth, while others work just as hard but stay stuck. I've helped thousands of people break free from financial stress, and I share practical strategies that actually work. In the real world, if you are tired of feeling behind and want to finally understand how money really works today, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I drop new content every week that can genuinely change your financial future. Let me tell you what is actually happening right now. We're living through what I call the silent wealth transfer. And most people have no idea it is happening to them. This isn't some conspiracy theory. It is a systematic shift in how money flows through the economy. And it is quietly moving wealth from your pocket into systems designed to keep you paying, borrowing, and consuming. The reset isn't coming. It is already here. Your purchasing power is being reset. Your savings are being reset. The traditional path to wealth is being reset. And if you don't understand the new rules, you'll keep playing a game that is rigged against you. Here is what the silent wealth transfer really means. Every system you interact with financially has been restructured over the past 2 decades to extract small amounts of money from you constantly. These aren't the big obvious scams. They're tiny cuts that bleed you slowly. A subscription you forgot about. An overdraft fee that triggers another fee. Interest rates that look small but compound against you. Inflation that makes your salary raise meaningless. Individually, each one seems manageable together. They're why you feel like you are working harder, but getting nowhere. Let me show you exactly how this plays out in real life. Take Sarah, a 32-year-old marketing manager making $65,000 a year. She is responsible, pays her bills on time, and thinks she is doing okay. But let's track just 1 month. She has got 3 streaming services she barely uses. That is $45. Her bank charged her 1 overdraft fee because a payment processed a day earlier than expected. There is $35. She is carrying a $4,000 credit card balance at 19% interest, costing her about $63 this month in interest alone. Her car payment includes gap insurance and an extended warranty the dealer convinced her she needed. Adding $80 monthly, that builds zero equity. She buys lunch at work 4 times a week because she is too tired to meal prep, roughly $240 a month. That is $463 in 1 month, or $56 a year, going to things that build absolutely no wealth for her. Over 10 years. That is $55,560, not even counting what that money could have grown into if invested. Now compare Sarah to Marcus, who makes the same $65,000. Marcus understood the silent wealth transfer 3 years ago and made different choices. He cut his subscriptions to one that he actually uses religiously. He set up a buffer in his checking account and enabled low balance alerts, eliminating overdraft fees completely. He paid off that credit card by using the avalanche method, attacking the highest interest debt first, and now puts that $63 monthly toward investments instead of interest. He bought a reliable used car instead of new, saving $150 a month in payments and avoiding those useless add-ons. He meal preps on Sundays, which actually takes him about 90 minutes and saves him $180 monthly. Marcus redirected about $400 monthly, or $4,800 yearly, away from the wealth extraction system and into his own wealth building. After 3 years, he has got $14,400 saved, plus investment returns of roughly $2,100, assuming a conservative 7% annual return. He is at $16,500 ahead, while Sarah is $16,668 behind. That is a $33,168 difference between 2 people making identical incomes. simply because one understood the game and the other didn't. Here is another example that'll make this even clearer. Think about how banks have changed. 20 years ago, you could walk into a bank, open a savings account, and earn around 5% interest when the economy was normal. Your money actually grew. Today, most traditional banks offer 0.01% interest on savings accounts. If you keep $10,000 in that account for a year, you'll earn one whole dollar. Meanwhile, that same bank is charging 15 to 25% interest on credit cards, $35 for overdrafts, $12 monthly for account maintenance, if you don't meet minimums, and $3 every time you use an out-of-network ATM. They flip the script. They're not paying you to save anymore. You are paying them to hold your money while they lend it out at massive profit margins. This is the reset. The old model where banks wanted your deposits has been replaced by a model where they profit from your fees and your debt. But wait, here is where it gets even more important to understand. The cost of living reset is the second part of this equation. In 1985, the average new car cost about $9,000. Today, it is over $48,000. A home that cost $100,000 in 1985 now costs around $430,000. Dollars. College tuition has increased over 1,200% since 1980. Meanwhile, wages have barely doubled. Your parents could work a summer job and pay for a semester of college. You can work all summer and maybe cover your textbooks. This isn't because you are doing something wrong. The math has fundamentally changed. The reset means you need completely different strategies. Thon, the ones that worked for previous generations. I know what you are thinking right now. First objection, James. This sounds depressing and overwhelming. I am already struggling. How am I supposed to fight against giant banks and economic systems? I don't have extra money to redirect or invest. I am barely covering my bills. I hear you. And here is the truth. You don't need to fight the entire system. You just need to stop volunteering to be part of it. Think about it like this. Nobody's forcing you to keep 6 subscriptions. Nobody's requiring you to bank with an institution that charges you fees every month. Nobody's making you carry high-interest debt. These feel mandatory because everyone around you does the same thing, but they're choices. And the beautiful part is that the smallest changes create the biggest impact when you are starting from behind. If Sarah, from our earlier example, just eliminated $200 in monthly wealth extraction, that is $2,400 a year. In 5 years, that is $12,000 she didn't have before, plus growth if she invests it. That is not depressing. That is a clear path forward that requires zero increase in income. Second objection. What about inflation and market crashes? Even if I save and invest, won't economic problems just wipe it out anyway? Why bother? Here's what the data actually shows. Yes, markets fluctuate. Yes, inflation exists. But over every 20-year period in stock market history, investing has beaten inflation and savings accounts by massive margins. From 2003 to 2023, even including the 2008 crash and the 2020 pandemic crash, the S&P 500 averaged about 10% annual returns. Meanwhile, inflation averaged around 2.5%. Money sitting in a typical savings account earning 0.01% lost purchasing power every single year. The real risk isn't market volatility. The real risk is doing nothing and letting the silent wealth transfer drain you slowly for decades. A market crash is temporary. Systematic wealth extraction is permanent unless you stop it. So what do you actually do? Let me give you 5 concrete actions you can take this week. Not someday, this week. That will immediately stop the bleeding and start redirecting money back to you. Action 1. Complete a subscription audit today. Pull up your bank and credit card statements from the last 3 months. Highlight every recurring charge. Be honest about what you actually use versus what just auto-renews. Cancel anything you haven't actively used in the past month. Most people find $50 to $150 monthly in subscriptions they forgot about or don't value. That is $600 to $1,800 a year instantly back in your pocket. Action 2. Switch to a no-fee bank or credit union by the end of this month. If your bank charges monthly maintenance fees, overdraft fees that aren't immediately refunded, or ATM fees, You are volunteering to be part of the wealth extraction system. Online banks and credit unions offer free checking. High-yield savings accounts currently around 4 to 5% interest, and no overdraft fees. Moving your money takes maybe 2 hours total, and it saves you hundreds annually while actually earning returns on your savings. Action 3. Set up the 1% Wealth Redirect immediately. You don't need to overhaul your entire financial life tomorrow. Just redirect 1% of your income somewhere. It grows instead of disappears. If you make $50,000 a year, that is about $42 per Pascal Yichek. Open a Roth IRA or a simple brokerage account, set up automatic transfers, and invest in a low-cost index fund. You won't even notice $42 missing, but in 30 years at 7% average returns, that tiny 1% redirect becomes over $50,000. Next year, increase it to 2%. The year after, 3%. Gradual beats perfect. Action 4. Eliminate one high-interest debt using the avalanche method within 6 months. List all your debts with their interest rates. Ignore the balances for now. Put every extra dollar toward the highest interest rate debt, while paying minimums on everything else. Once that is gone, attack the next highest rate. A $5,000 credit card at 20% interest costs you $1,000 a year. In interest alone, that is money vaporizing into nothing. Killing that debt doesn't just save you the interest, it frees up the monthly payment to redirect toward wealth building. If you can knock out even one high-interest debt in 6 months, you've permanently increased your wealth building capacity. Action 5. Learn the 72-hour rule for all non-essential purchases over $50. This is stupidly simple but incredibly powerful. Before buying anything non-essential over $50, wait 72 hours, put it in your cart. Walk away. If you still want it after 3 days and can explain why it adds genuine value, buy it. Most of the time, the impulse fades. This isn't about deprivation, it is about making sure your money goes toward things you actually value, instead of things marketing convinced you to want. Most people save $100 to $300 monthly just by adding this pause, which is another $1,200 to $600 yearly redirected from consumption to wealth building. Here is what I need you to understand. The money reset isn't some future event you need to prepare for. It already happened. You are living in it right now. The systems around you have been restructured to keep you earning, spending, and staying in place. But here is the empowering part. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you can't unsee it, you stop participating. You stop volunteering for subscriptions that drain you. You stop accepting bank fees as normal. You stop carrying high interest debt like it is just part of life. You stop making financial decisions based on what everyone else does, and start making them based on what actually builds wealth for you. This isn't about becoming obsessed with money or turning into some extreme minimalist living on rice and beans. It is about waking up to the fact that tiny, invisible decisions you make every single day are either moving you toward freedom or keeping you trapped. And the beautiful thing is that the same small decisions that trap you can free you when you redirect them. The effort is the same. The awareness is what changes everything. If this resonated with you, do me a favor. Hit that like button so more people can find this message. Subscribe, because I'm going to keep showing you exactly how to navigate this new financial reality. And share this with someone you care about who is stuck on that hamster wheel. Wondering why they can't get ahead despite working so hard. They're not failing. They just don't know the game changed. You can be the one who shows them. The money reset already happened, but your response to it starts right now. You've got the knowledge. You've got the action steps. The only question is whether you'll use them. And I genuinely believe that if you take even 2 of those 5 actions this week, you'll feel a shift, not just in your bank account, but in your sense of control and that feeling. That sense that you are finally playing offense instead of defense with your money. That is where everything changes. Let's get to work.